Hi everybody, thank you very much for taking a look at our video blog. This is the Raymond Did It pre-production blog. My name is Travis Legge. I am the writer, director, and producer on Raymond Did It. I just did a press release today. We were fortunate enough to add a few more members to the cast of Raymond Did It. Victoria Sullivan is going to be playing Tammy at age 13. She's got a lot of stage experience, and she's a brilliant actress. She came in for her audition and just knocked it out of the park. I knew the moment I saw her that she was Tammy. Patricia Raven is also going to be joining the cast, playing Paige at age 13. There's a bit of the story that takes place when the main characters are younger, and we've been needed to cast some child actors. Which brings me to kind of what I wanted to talk about today, which is the process of casting. Particularly when casting child actors, it's very important to be extremely upfront with what you're doing with the film. And I mean, this applies to anybody. This applies to any actor that you'd be looking at talking to. You want to make sure that you are communicating the content of the piece. In Raymond Did It, there's a lot of violence, obviously, because it's a slasher film. But there's also some adult language and adult content. Two of the adult actors actually have a nude scene. I'm not going to tell you who, you're just going to have to wait and see the movie. But you shouldn't be let down by that in the slightest. But, you know, and some of the kids are talking about drug use and sex and, you know, all these things that nobody wants their kids talking about. So I think it is very important to make sure that when you're approaching talent forecasting, that you're being completely upfront about the nature of the content. I think that, you know, when you're casting people, I've had people ask me, well, how did you get, you know, Lindsay involved? How did you get Jessica involved? How did you get Alyssa involved? You know, there's a mix of ways. I mean, I asked. Don't ever be afraid to ask anybody for anything. Most they can ever say to you is no. But, you know, I've used Twitter. I've used Craigslist to post audition notices. Use every tool at your disposal. You have a computer if you're watching this, or you have access to one. So the internet is full of resources you can use to help cast your film. It's just a matter of doing it. Google for casting sites and start posting up notices. Use Facebook, use Twitter, get the word out there. But while I was approaching these people and asking them what's going on, you know, I felt it was absolutely necessary to just immediately tell them the nature of the project and the nature of the scenes I'm asking them to perform in. You can't expect someone to sign on to something, sign on to perform in your film, if they aren't aware of what they're facing, what they're looking at. You know, you can't expect someone to consider a role in your movie and then sneak them some content. Oh, by the way, you're going to be naked. Oh, by the way, there's drug use simulated. People have boundaries, and you can't push them across them. You have to find somebody who's willing to work within your boundaries. When casting child actors, it's extremely important that you communicate that clearly with the parents before you ever look at an audition, before you ever go any further, before you send sides off. Hey, look. This film has this content, this film has this language. Is that something that you're comfortable with your child in participating in? Sometimes you'll get told no. Sometimes you'll get told, nah, I don't want to do that. And that's fine. Awesome. The other piece of advice I would give you that goes hand in hand with that as a starting out filmmaker, an independent filmmaker, don't compromise your vision because somebody's not willing to do what you need for the story. Look around. You will find what you need. You'll find the people you need. Tell your story the way you want to tell it. You know, there was some discussion among me and Tim and Robert about cutting some of the content out of the children's dialogue in the kids scene because it's racy. You know, and Tim's idea, you know, we saw the Red Band trailer for Kick-Ass, and there's a 10-year-old girl calling a bunch of guys cunts before she cuts them to pieces. So Tim thought, well, maybe the world's getting a little bit more enlightened towards that thing. I don't know that the world is getting more enlightened, but some people are. So my thoughts were, if I just approach people, you know, and am forward about the language and the content, then, you know, we'll find what we need. Turns out we did. I'm very pleased with the choices we've been able to make so far. Having said that, we are still casting for some of the male roles for the children, and you can find the details at agestudios.com/casting.html, and I'll put the link right around here and in the description. I also wanted to touch base a little bit on casting over distance. A lot of independent productions don't have the funds or resources to be able to hold auditions, you know, bi-coastally, or, you know, even drive more than a couple of hours for auditions. I found that Skype is incredibly useful. Video chat, hands down, great tool for auditioning. And when I posted on Twitter that I'd used it, people were acting like, "Oh my God, I can't believe nobody's ever, you know, I can't believe you thought of that." I'm kind of surprised nobody else has. I'm sure somebody else has thought of that, but, you know, use Skype. Use Gmail has a free chat. You can use that. Use Yahoo Messenger. If you can't schedule a time where you can sit down live to chat with the person, use YouTube. You know, I don't particularly like viewing audition tapes. I prefer to deal with the talent so I can see how they respond to direction, and make sure I can communicate with them. It's important to me. But, you know, if you don't mind watching a tape, or watch a series of tapes, have them give you their first read. You give them back a video of your direction. Have them post back a video on YouTube. You know, hell, people play chess games. You know, over years you could stretch out an audition over a couple of days. Find different ways to apply the tools at your disposal. Multi-tooling. Again, I can't stress enough. Look at everything around you and find 20 uses for it, because it's the only way you're going to get your film made. As far as how to approach talent, like how to talk to them, Joe Cambiagio put up a blog not too long ago about how to talk to celebrities. And I really think it just kind of extends to how to talk to anybody. So I'm not going to cover the ground they've already covered. Just go check out their blog. I'll float the link and we'll throw it over in the description. They're smarter than I am, and they know the business better than I do. So read their blog and comment on it and tell them I sent you. Last thing I wanted to cover while I still got your attention, we are still accepting donations on Indiegogo.com to help finance the film. I've got a gap in my budget that I would really love to close, and the donations from the fans could be a huge help in that. Even if you can give $1. You know, if you look at any of the video blogs we're doing or any of my previous work, and you have any faith that we're going to make this movie as badass as I know we will, slide us $1. And when you go see it in the theater, or you purchase the DVD, or you steal it online, however you get a hold of the movie, when you watch it, you'll know that that extra $1 was worth it, that your investment was well spent. You have my word. I will do everything in my power to make those dollars well spent. So please, visit Indiegogo.com, search for Raymond Did It. I'll post a link right here, Indiegogo.com, Raymond Did It. And, you know, donate us $1. Donate us $10, donate us $1,000, whatever you can afford. Help us out. We start shooting June 8th, just over a month away. Can't wait. And we've got a lot of pre-production going on between now and then, so I should have much more frequent blog updates here for you. So thank you very much for watching, and please tell a friend about us.